Alright, YouTube, let me show you where I'm at.
I'm Sarah, and this is Travis. We've moved 7 times in the last 6 years and are currently renovating our 3rd house with our 3 boys and our Old English sheepdog. Follow along as we renovate our house and raise our boys.
That's him.
Subscribe and join us on our next adventure.
You should have seen in my last video, I would guess it was, that I framed all this. A couple key things here is you want 3 2x4s height for your curb. You want some 2x6s to frame the exterior here for your pan liner to have support, and your concrete board that's going to come down so you have something high to anchor to. Another thing that I'm not finding in my research very often is you want your mortar bed that I'm about to pour. So that's a sloped mortar bed I'm talking about, to have the water run to the drain. You want to have that about 1 inch thick here, and then a 1/4 inch slope every foot out to your edges. So that's the formula right there for thickness and slope. So for today's video, by the way, I think I broke my toe. I don't know if you can see how purple that is. This might be gross for some of you. See how purple that is? I broke my toe riding a dirt bike the other day. Got a nice little scrape, so it hurts to kneel down like this. So my next step right now is I have some tar felt paper. I'm gonna put that down so that when I lay my mortar bed, my sloped mortar bed here, it doesn't absorb into, the moisture doesn't absorb into the wood and cause it not to harden right. So I'm gonna put felt paper down, then I'm gonna put some wire mesh down, and then I'm gonna put my concrete bed onto that. And again, you want roughly 1 inch with a 1/4 inch slope every foot towards the drain. Another kind of unique side note to my situation here is the plumbing under here and the flooring, the joists that I have under here. It made my drain not centered to the shower, which doesn't matter one bit, other than it's going to make this a little bit trickier to get everything level. Anyway, another thing here that's key is you want your shower drain to be perfectly level. That's going to be really important for when you're laying tile, that you get everything sloped the right direction. Okay, step 1, felt paper. Step 2 is going to be this wire mesh. Then I'm going to do my mortar bed. So once you get your liner kind of in place here, your tar paper in place here, then you staple it down, nail it down. This is not very critical at this point. So I'm ready to do this mortar bed. This is, if you can see this bag, Secrete sand mix. So it's just topping and bedding, and I think there's a couple different brands, but all you want is the sand mix, topping and bedding. All you do is mix a little bit of water with it, and you do not want this to be very wet. You'll see the consistency when I mix this up here in a minute if I do it right, but you want to be able to pick up a handful of this and squeeze it and have no moisture drip out of it. Okay, I made that a little bit too wet. huge deal though, because I can just add a little bit more. All right, got a dirt clod. That's probably a hair wet, but that's gonna be just fine. Yeah, it stuck to my hand like that. That's why I think it's probably just a hair wet, but I'm gonna go with it. So you can see I've taped it here to not get any of my concrete in the drain. I'm trying to push this concrete under this as best I can. So now that I've packed in underneath that, I want to pack this down tight. I don't want any air pockets in there or weak spots in it. Also, when you pack like this, it brings the moisture up to the surface, so I can smooth this out at the very end. I want to go right to the edge of this, right to that line, and I've already done my math. I want to go to the height of a 2x4 on the edges. That gives me my 1/4 inch slope. 1/4 inch a foot slope. Almost done here. A couple tips real quick. You want to get kind of the perimeter pretty level all the way across. I purposely made corners just a hair higher, but you want to, for the most part, get this perfectly level on the border so that your tile can lay flat. Now, in reality, this first mortar bed that I'm doing right here doesn't have to be perfect, because I'm going to put down a rubber shower pan, and then I'm going to put down another mortar bed. That one has to be far more perfect. What helped me out to do this was I cut a couple 2x4s that were different lengths, and you just kind of float it back, maybe a little bit more pressure right here at the beginning, and that's what helps me get everything level. And then I can come back in with my slope and try and level this off even more. Okay, so this looks pretty sandy right now. This is gonna harden into solid concrete. So we are done. Done.
Next week, Travis will show you the next step of building your shower pan, which is putting in the shower pan liner.